Hey sunshines, how art thou? How art thou? So I am going to multitask today. Um, Instead of going live, I decided to do a pre-recorded video just because time is of essence, right? So I am doing a whole new brand, a whole new revamping, Creative Stitch and Diva, Shauna. So this makeover, everything that I'm doing right now is helping me in my abundant life, my business, and everything else. And that's what I want to do. I want to help you guys. So Chronicles of a Crochet Diva podcast is going to be solely based off of my experiences, the downfalls I had, the uphills that I had, and all of the above, and how I'm able to say that I have an abundant life. How am I able to say, I'm not a millionaire. I don't make a whole lot of money, but for me to say I have an abundant life now, today, I want to explain that because I think people think that you have to have money, like six figures rolling in order to have abundant life. But remember, those people who have millions and millions of money can still be sad and upset and on drugs and very depressed. So abundant life does not mean having a whole lot of money. It just means being abundant and means to be fulfilled with life in your spirit and being happy, and your journey is going the way you manifest it. And so that's what I want to go over. That's what I want to talk about. And that's what I'm going to use this podcast for, so that your business, your crocheting, or whatever you want to do can have a purpose and you can have an abundant life. But today, I said I was going to focus on Etsy, right? Everybody wants to know, should I go on Etsy? Shouldn't I go on Etsy? Should I stay on Etsy? Should I get my own website? Well, I don't know. I can tell you what I went through, and I can tell you whether it benefited me or not. And I can actually say in the beginning, it definitely did benefit me. In the beginning, when I first did my Etsy, I was getting sales. Not as much as I wanted to. I did it back in like 2013, 14, I think. And that's when I started my graphic journey. So I just did, at the time, I did naughty graphs. So when I did the naughty graphs, so at the time I did naughty graphs, and it was basically naughty graphs, and something for like 21 and older, maybe 35 and older. And I used it for just that because I was selling my graphs on Facebook. So I wanted to separate the two because Facebook wouldn't allow certain things. But then I found out Etsy didn't either. So that kind of was a flop. It didn't work out the way I wanted it to work out. And so for like 3-4 years, my Etsy just went under. Like, I even I think it got suspended because at the time, I think I didn't pay the fees or something like that. Yeah, and it wasn't even a lot. It was probably like $6, but I really at the time didn't care because I wasn't making anything anyway. So yeah, like 3-4 years passed, and then I realized it's starting to get hard on Facebook selling them and being able to generate as many graphs as was requested. So it was best so that the pre graphs were already done to just put them on my Etsy. The listing is like 20 cents each time you list it, and then when somebody purchases it, you have to pay another fee. So it's like little fees every now and then. All of these fees starts to add up now, and when you think about it, you're like, what is going on? And when I did my taxes for the 2021, I realized that, yeah, Etsy got a lot of money from me. And then I thought, like, wow, these are $8 grabs, and they're taking a good amount out of the $8 grabs. And, people complain, $8, that's a lot of money. It was a lot. It was a lot. So it's worth it maybe for the beginner. But as actually right now, there's a strike going on. I believe that it was only like a week and people were just not buying, or sellers were not selling. They would close down their shop. I think that that's something that I would have done if I still was on Etsy, but I'm not on Etsy anymore. If I was on Etsy, I would have done that as well. Would it have affected my business? Absolutely. But this is why I have my website now. So if you have a business, like mine, where you are I do the custom orders, but the grafts is more of a mainstream money where I don't really have to do anything. It's passive money. So if you have something with passive, like a passive, anything that can make passive income, it may be a good idea to do it. Files, downloads, anything that you don't have to do a lot of work, and it just basically sells for itself, then that may be a good idea. I was making with Etsy between like on a good week, or month, I'm gonna say a month, on a good month, maybe $1,000, and a bad month, maybe 300 a month. So either way you look at it, I was making pretty good money. The thing is, out of that month, Etsy got a good chunk of that money. And if you think about it, they're making that every single person that's on Etsy. Every single person that's on Etsy. And there's millions of people on Etsy that's selling their things. So each time you are purchasing something, Etsy's getting a cut. And then I thought about it. When you purchase something, so for those non-sellers, they're purchasing items from you, they have to pay a fee as well. So I'm thinking, well, dag, is Etsy getting a piece of that too? Etsy is kind of sort of, if you think about it, ripping people off. But this is my opinion. This is what I believe. I think the strike should be longer than a week. I think that they should lower their fees because they're actually making it a little bit more now, and I don't think it's fair. I don't think it's fair at all. So if if you wanted to support that, and there's a petition going out there, it's on Instagram. Instagram is I think it's Etsy strike. If you want to know what it is, let me know. But it's on Instagram, and they have a website and everything, and I'm pretty sure you can find it because now it's really getting out there, and it's really getting out there now. So, why did I get suspended? I got suspended from Etsy because of their infringement rights. Now, Etsy has the right to say we don't want this on our site, or they have the right to say you're using something that maybe someone else has. But then they also have the right to not do anything about it. And that's where the issue lies when it came to me. So majority of the images that I use, I would purchase it from someone else. So that digital creator will create it. And when you buy the files from, like, the SVG files for your Cricut and make t-shirts and stuff, those people who make those files, they sell those on Etsy and their own websites and stuff like that. So if I saw something that I thought would be an interesting graph, I would purchase it. And this is another reason why I change things around too. But I would purchase it. And when I purchase it, I try to stick with like one or two people so that I can also buy their licenses. A lot of them have licenses, a lot of them don't. I try to stick with those who have licenses. So if they have a license, the license covers you for like maybe 500 products that you might want to sell, or a lifetime, and you just purchase that depending on their package deal or whatever. Sometimes you could purchase the license per file, or you could purchase a license and like maybe they have a package or something. And that's what I did. I did a package. So I did like a lifetime with two people. And so every time they had anything that I liked, they would share with me and they would let me know and I would buy it. And that's basically what our agreement was. And I'm pretty sure they did it with other people, but that's what my agreement was. And I spoke to them about it and they saw my stuff. They even liked my stuff, even purchased from me, like, you know, some custom made items. So I had no problems. They were the same exact graph that I would make would be on their page as well as a SVG file, but mine would be a pattern. Now, Etsy felt the need to say that it was like maybe infringement when I got it from someone else. I'm not no snitch, so I would just take it down. It is what it is. But then I found that I was doing that a lot. I found that I was taking it down a whole lot. Everything. I can understand, like, you know, certain celebrities, certain trademarks. I could definitely understand that. It wasn't even that sometimes. It was the craziest things. But what really got my account suspended was the fact that another creator, what I believe she saw something on the person that I deal with page and said that it was hers and it was her original and she wanted her to take it down. And the person that I deal with was like, it's not. I made it and I could prove it. So they were going back and forth, but because it got legal, it got nasty, because it was apparently not just one, it was a bunch. And I don't know that this person is stealing from somebody else. And I like, well, this been since what, November? Now, I really don't believe she did. I believe that was all her work, from what was shown to me, but I have to stay out of that because they're still in litigation. But that other person, which makes no sense now that I'm thinking about it. If you didn't make it, why are you suing? That's something I'm thinking about too, but we'll see. We'll see the outcome. I can't talk about it right now because of that situation, but anyone who had the license account got suspended because apparently it was on my page as well. So this person felt like she was going to sue everybody who had it on their page. And you can't really sue me because I bought that license. So it's a good thing to have the license when you are doing stuff like that, when you are doing your passive income, when you are making t-shirts, when you are making like mugs and stuff like that, and you don't design your own designs. It's best to have a license from that person because it could save your behind. Even though this person is under litigation, I did whatever I needed to do to protect myself. The crazy thing is I didn't even think I wasn't protecting myself from that. I was protecting it because I just didn't want anybody to say, oh, you stole my stuff. So I just like, what the heezy? I was not expecting this. But yeah, so now maybe people can understand why I tweak and revamp and change things around, because I don't want to go through that. And a lot of the stuff that I did do, I did tweak and revamp and stuff like that. But Etsy put it down. Now, excuse me, for instance, if you decided to like make things with like TikTok and Instagram and have a picture and whatever, that's a trademark and it's also an infringement, and they will strike you. So the more infringement problems that you have, the more they are able to suspend you. And if they suspend you, they have the right to, as long as you plead your case, they have the right to put you back or not. That's the problem I have. You have the right. So my money and my business is in your hands. They even owed me like $33. I didn't even get that. Etsy took it. And I didn't even owe them. Am I going to argue about it, fight about it? No, because at the end of the day, I'm winning. I'm winning. because you suspended me, you took me down, but I have my website now. I honestly believe that we also have people out here who try to take things from you because they are jealous, upset, mad, and that's another reason why we want to make sure that we are doing everything the right way in a legal way. License, trademark, like you want to do everything the right way. Make sure your business is legal and whatever, because it could have been very well, because I can look at the same exact strikes that I got. I still see them on Etsy. I'm pretty sure they didn't get suspended because I still see them. So somebody maybe reported my page or something like that. And that's something that I have to deal with. But it's okay, because at the end of the day, I'm winning. I have my website now. So I can do whatever I want on my website. Not just sell my crafts, but I am doing so much more on my website now. You could sign up for a newsletter. You could sign up, to read my blogs. You could sign up to for classes, and you could get announcements, and you get links for this and links for that, tutorials, like everything I could do on my website now. So I think that was just a way to push Shauna, because Shauna was taking forever. So push her over so that you could get out of that, under that umbrella of somebody else, and do for yourself. It was hard. It took me a while, but I did it. And you could too. Now, what I also believe that we should also do is get out our heads. And this is what was told to me over and over and over and over and over and over again. Get out your head. Stop. Get out your head and stop saying, I can't. I'm busy. I don't have the money. Stop. Stop. You know why? Because I said it over and over and over and over again. And not too much of a difference it was from then to now. It's a difference, but not too much. And I was able to do it. So when you say you can't, you're putting it in an atmosphere that you just don't want to try, and you're giving up, and you don't want to do that. You don't want to do that. So when I talk about law of attraction, which I've always did, but law of attraction is something that I believe wholeheartedly, and it helped me. So maybe that's something that you guys will want to do. Law of attraction. Think of so many positive things. Think of, I'm going to do this website. Not only am I going to do this website, it's going to be great. It's going to be an asset for someone. It's going to multiply money for me. It's going to make me stable, or stability. It's going to help me with my abundant life. Don't get me wrong. That website is not going to just alone do everything. You have to do the work. You have to do the work. I have to set a time on when I'm going to do this, when I'm going to do that, because the website is there. But how is people going to see the website? How are you going to put it out there so that other people that you don't know see the website? Because that was one thing about Etsy that I enjoyed, was everybody went on Etsy, whether they knew you or not. And if you paid that extra, I think I paid $1. When you pay that extra amount for advertising, Etsy put you out there. So not only did they put me out there on Etsy for, like, when you go on a page and that's like one of the first things that come up. My page came up a lot, probably for some people, but it's also on Google. It's also like when you type in something, it'll come up. So that was one thing about Etsy that I loved. With your website, you have the option to do SEOs, and that's search engine optimization. And they have free ones, but then they have ones that you could pay. I would pay, because you have so many people on top of you right now. I have so many people on top of me. Not a lot of people make Afghans, but then there's a lot of people that do make Afghans. Not a lot of people have websites, but then there's a lot of people that do have websites and sell them. Now, how can I get over them? Consistency. That search engine optimization, Google, and me putting it out there consistently all the time. New information, making it worth my while. Just boom, 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 and just keep doing it. Don't stop. Just, you know how you knocking somebody out. You got to keep going. 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 You just got to keep doing it. Boom, boom, boom. And that's what I am doing. This is how I was able to start graph ganning in 2012 and continue graph ganning from now in 2022. People from back then are still calling me. I'm not going to say I'm the diva, but I'm going to say I'm the diva, okay? And that's because I have this presence of, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this, and I'm going to live abundantly. I'm going to be happy, and I'm not going to be where I was before. So if you haven't seen any of my old content of telling you what I went through, homeless, breast cancer, single mom, depression, sick, like, if you haven't seen none of that, go check out some more of my Chronicles of a Crochet Diva in the past, and listen to some of the stuff. I even talked about being on welfare, you know what I'm saying? Like, I talked about all of this. So those are the reasons why I am the way I am now, because I was very depressed back then and very like so negative. Never even thought about being positive because nothing positive was happening in my life. I felt living in a hotel for months and months, and then living in a shelter for months and months. Like, it's hard. It's hard. It's very hard. But the one thing that I can actually say is I'm still here, striving. My boys are great. I'm great. I'm happy. And I manifested all of it. I also want to show you guys how I manifest, what I did, how I wrote it down. Press like if you like what you hear. You like what's going on. I'm not getting dressed up or anything. I'm not doing all of that because the words that are coming out my mouth are way more important. I'm going to the gym in a few minutes. Like, yeah. So I'm going to the gym. This is a whole new Shauna. When you start changing your mindset, when you start changing your body, changing your health, changing your eating, changing your surroundings, get rid of them toxic people, everything just starts doing a shift. And I had to go through all of that to see that. And now I see it. Now I am like, wow, that's what I had to do. But it wasn't my time back then. It's my time now. And it could be yours, but you have to do it. You have to do the work. It's hard. It's hard. 44 years of doing what I knew best. I'm not even going to say 44 years. I'm going to say maybe 2 decades of just doing what I knew best, was just living, and living the way I knew how to live, not the way maybe you're supposed to live or the way we should live. I lived the way I knew best, and that was getting by. Struggling, getting by. Like, I had a hard life, but now I'm stable. Life is really good. Life is good, and I manifested it. So next podcast, I'll talk a little bit about my manifestations, how I did it, my affirmations, my morning rituals, and what I do on a daily basis. And maybe you can get an idea of what you can do on a daily basis to get you up and going. Someone else also asked if I could talk more about my podcast, doing the podcast on here and YouTube and stuff like that. I don't know if I am the right person to talk to about that, but the one thing I'm not going to do is give up on this, because it is generating funds. It is generating something, it's generating views, and I am putting out more tutorials and stuff like that. So yeah, well, I'm doing the damn thing. I'm doing the damn thing, and I love it. I also, because the diva have to have multiple forms of income. So this is one thing that I manifested. It has nothing to do with crochet related, but I do want to explain, because I think that everyone should have multiple forms of income, whether it's in the same area or not. This is not. I had to think, Shauna, what else can I do to make money and generate money, but to get other people who are not into crochet, who are not into yarn, who may not want a blanket, who may not want me to crochet something for them. And I thought about it, and I was like, I want to do another podcast. I love to talk. I love that I'm able to share things that a lot of people don't know. But I'm also a free spirit, fluent type of exotic chick, right? So I would ask people, do you want to do a podcast with me? I want to talk about, being a female, being in a relationship, toxic relationship. I want to talk about these things, and I want to help others. Sexuality and all of that, because I had issues and nobody talked to me about it. So I wanted to talk about it. There's some out there, don't get me wrong, but my vision is not out there. I looked. My vision is not out there. I want it to be like, there's couples out there who talk about what they go through in their couples and in their marriage or in their relationship. But I want to talk about my relationship, because my situations are very unique. It's pretty sure other people going through it, but so what I mean by unique is I am very spiritual, and I'm into like zodiacs and way long time ago, and from multiple people, not just one or two, like throughout my life, I was able to get confirmations from people, from evangelists, and from people who just not even for me to buy, to pay for someone to tell me, but just random people to say, wow, this is going to happen to you. And I had people who would tell me this, and I would see them every single day, and then for months, and then the next thing you know, they disappear. So I believe that people are coming into your life for a time and a reason. And I believe that those certain people came into my life for that time and that reason to give me hope. Maybe I believe it helped. It helped me with all the bad stuff that was happening to me. It gave me hope. So the one thing I was told was that I have the gift to help others, to share my experience and give my testimony and explain to them that you can do this too, because it was so hard for me. But when it came down to Chronicles of a Crochet podcast, I said, I want to help people in their business, and I want to explain the stuff that they don't see on Instagram. Because everybody see all the good stuff on Instagram, the happy things on Instagram. You want to be like, oh, wow, I want to do that. But not realizing all of this stuff, it could be just for show. It could be just for numbers. No money. None whatsoever. If you saw any of the behind the hooks, those people could tell you they weren't making money. They were just putting out content. So I want to put out content, but to also make money. And so that's why I decided to do Chronicles of a Crochet Diva. But now I want to explore outwards and do another podcast. And I wanted it to be something with like, females discussing things, but I didn't want it to be like The View or anything. I wanted it to be more exotic and talking about real deep stuff. And I couldn't get anybody that had the time. I couldn't get anybody that was invested, had the interest like I do, because you don't want just anybody. You want somebody that has that same interest as you. And I really didn't want to do it myself. I didn't want to do it myself. I do want like a co-host or something. But in my mind, I also wanted a couples thing. And at the time, I was in a relationship, but it was a toxic relationship. So it wasn't a great idea to ask him, but I did anyway, because I felt like, okay, what the heck? Didn't want to do it. That's not something. And I kind of didn't want him on the screen either. And then I decided, okay, I'm in another relationship. And then he didn't mind doing one, but he was not confident in doing multiple ones. And I was going to get together with some other like couples in the crochet world, and I wanted to, you know, bring our significant others together and talk about how they like what we do and how they support us and whatever. But he wouldn't even do that at all. That's another story. But so I moved on. I haven't even been with him. So a year later, my birthday come, and bam, if you did not see it, you need to see it. My manifestation. You need to see this podcast because it's not really crochet related. I mean, you know, we spoke about it, but the Welcome Back Creative Divas. Yeah, that is going to talk about this podcast that I'm about to do. A little bit, just a tiny bit, but in the next week or two, we're going to actually do the first premiere, and it's going to be with my significant other now. And he actually wants to do it. But not only that, he kind of sort of manifested himself. Weird, right? No, it's destiny, divine order. And this is what I'm trying to tell you guys. When you manifest something in divine order, always say divine order, because you want it to happen not in your time, but in God's time, the universe time. You want it to happen at the right time, not when you want it, but on time. And of course, I want it just a while ago, but it wasn't that time. The crazy thing is, now I can speak way more about the topics that I want to talk about. I could talk way more. And this person that I'm doing it with, he has so much knowledge that this is going to work. This right here is going to work. The thing about it is, it's going to be mature audiences only. It's going to be 35 and older only, because I think 21 is too young. And it's going to be about some real deep topics: relationships, sex, couples, sneaky leaks, hitting it, going. And like the kids nowadays don't know how to date. They don't know that it's not even just about going out and having sex with someone. It's more to it than that. So that's what it's going to be about. I don't want to talk about all of that right now, but I did want to introduce it because a lot of people are asking, when is it going to happen? When is it going to happen? Instagram, I have an Instagram out. It's D&D After Dark. Check it out, D&D After Dark. And Facebook, I'm going to do a Facebook group, D&D After Dark Facebook group, because that's where we're going to get more ideas and more content and more things to do, so you could get to know who D&D is. And that's another thing. Who's D&D? What do D&D mean? D&D. Do you think you know what that means? D&D Podcast After Dark. Yeah, check it out. Check it out. Look it up. And yeah, so thank you so much for listening to my Chronicles of a Crochet Diva. And I just wanted to go over some things with you about the Etsy and manifesting and all of that. If you want me to answer any questions or have anything that you want me to talk about, tutorials or anything, let me know. Put it in the comments below. Make sure you press a like, because y'all know you like me, and share. Let everyone know who the diva is. I am back and I'm ready to go back at it, revamped and get you to where you need to get to, because you deserve it. You deserve it, boo. And have a good one, sunshines, and I can't wait to see you later, and hope to see you over there at D&D. Only if you want to. If you don't want to, don't even look at it. Don't even go on Instagram. Don't look at it. Only if you want to. If you want to see that side of Diva. Have a good night, sunshines. Bye.